Six-time Emmy Award winner and Tony Award nominee Jean Smart returns to Broadway for 12 weeks only in a world premiere play about a writer whose words are her greatest gift, her deepest secret, and her only way out.
Call me Izzy.
Don't miss this moving tour de force performance now on Broadway. Get tickets at callmeizzyplay.com.
Last week, we watched Cats and Dogs, The Revenge of Kitty Galah.
This week, we watched Total Recall. Ow.
That connection is wacky machinery.
More like a wacky voice. I'm so bad at this.
Hello and welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. My name is Sandro. This is my co-host Zach, and we are recording a lovely podcast today about a fantastic film that we should have done ages ago, to be honest, I feel.
Yeah, probably should have. My name is Zach. I think that's correct. I can't quite recall, so I think you're probably right there.
No. I'm pretty sure. Like, I remember. You're Zach.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Sandro.
Yeah.
You're a bearded white boy. I'm a Spanish white boy. Everything.
Wait, no, hang on. I literally just shaved off my beard today. My mustache is still there, but I literally just shaved my beard off. So
No,
actually,
but that's like your one personality, isn't it? Just having a beard?
no, wait, that's you. You've got a beard.
What are you saying, Sandra? You're sounding crazy.
I think you're Zach.
What?
Oh my god.
As you said, I don't totally recall. Ha ha.
Oh my god, it's a podcast where we watch movies that are related to the last movie we did. And
Yeah. I'm Zach, he's Sandro. It's Total Recall. There's some mindfuckery going on.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
And last week we watched Cats and Dogs, and then so basically what we've been doing. If this is your first episode to the show, what a
rough
an
start.
intro for real. You've been choosing every movie this month. This is your last movie choice, and for your last movie choice, you put up 25 movies on Patreon and got our patrons to vote, and they picked this one.
And you know what? I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
This was a banger of a movie, and so
Whoa.
I'm very glad we watched it. Because honestly, I'm surprised we haven't watched it in the past. I think it's definitely. I think all 25 of those movies are like ones that I've wanted to do in the past.
Yeah.
And it's never been the right time. And I'll bring some of those back. You know.
Oh, definitely. I think you definitely
we
should.
will do Treasure Island, the Russian animated 1988 one. Okay.
Well, if you can.
That's one of my favorite movies of
That's a
all
good one.
time. Full stop.
I do want to watch it.
That's in my top 10 favorite movies.
That's
and
wild.
We've done over like 300 movies.
We have. I mean, if you can find a connection between anything that we're doing and that movie, then by all means. Also, the connection between this movie and Cats and Dogs was wacky machinery, which I was ready to be like, that doesn't work, but no, it does. It does.
I would say there's two different. There's three. There's four. There's so much wacky machinery in this film.
There's a lot. There's a lot of wacky, weird sci-fi shenanigans.
Yeah, there's sci-fi machinery, but there's also just like weird space machinery.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a lot of machinery about. There's several different machinery things. And in fact, oh, wait, I forgot. And at one point, Arnold wears some wacky machinery as well. Yeah, I just thought of that one.
You could even have the connection be because in Cats and Dogs, a cat was wearing a dog suit. You could even have the connection be something like that as well.
Oh my god! Yeah!
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you
but
you just blew my mind as I recalled that movie. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, as I recall, this movie is directed by Paul Verhoeven, and yeah, it's completing our trilogy of doing the 3 movies he made that make fun of American movies.
Yeah!
So we did RoboCop, we did Starship Troopers, and then now Total Recall. 3 satires to various degrees of Americanism.
Yeah. I don't know. So what in this movie, Sandro, specifically, was you think the criticism of American film / America in general?
Well, I'll say spoiler free, and then we're going to do spoilers later, just to get that out of the way before we get into it. I mean, it's based off a Philip K. Dick novel, so it's all about capitalism is bad, which, is classic, satire of society. However, Paul Verhoeven, he doesn't do just that. My thinking, I think this movie, the whole movie, satire. In that the movie itself doesn't seem it's not as like harsh as RoboCop or Starship Troopers from a plot level, but that's because the satire here isn't on the plot level. I think the satire here is the whole movie. The whole movie is just making fun of Americans. It's like, hey, here's a girl fight. Oh my god, look at this. It's like got all of the cliches. Every single cliche you can think of is in this, which made me be like, the whole movie is the joke. The whole movie is the joke.
Oh my god.
Which I liked. What do you think is the satire here? What do you think is...
I think the satire is that we're mean to people with deformities.
That's true, we are.
And that's bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty woke opinion of you.
That was just like the staple thing, but the movie wasn't confronting that.
Well, not any more than like a regular 80s movie.
Yeah, right? Well, exactly, right? No. Because in other movies, it was like confronting that, whereas I feel in this one, it was showing that, not confronting it. The movie takes place within a dystopian capitalistic society.
Yes.
And it shows it very well, but it isn't like... The main point of the movie was not to show that. The main point was something completely different, which was to fuck with your head.
Yes, definitely.
That was the point of the movie. Whereas I think like RoboCop is directly like he is part of the system and he is fighting the system with the head guy who's part of the system. Like RoboCop, the whole antagonist of the movie could be capitalism, as it were,
Definitely.
Whereas this one's just like, in a capitalist society, this is what happens.
Yeah. I feel like this movie is like, like the whole structure and the twists and turns and just like random character stuff is the parody here. Like, I think that this movie does not need to be gory. There's no reason for it to be gory. It doesn't make any sense for it to be... The first moment of, like, blood going everywhere, I was taken aback. I was like, what? Why? Why is there blood everywhere? And then I'm like, oh, that's the point. That's the joke. The joke is that it's just weird and, like, it's, like, ultra-violent for no reason. And I think, like, the capitalist, like... the anti-capitalism gotta take down the big company thing is also a part of the joke. It's also making fun of all the American movies that do that.
You're saying it's a self-report almost.
I feel... Well, Paul Verhoeven is he French? He's Dutch. That's what he is. And so, like, he always...
Same thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, so he always makes, like, weird, like... art shit, and then he made this trilogy of movies that are just like a joke on American Hollywood. I feel like they are anyway. But just like small stuff in this, like none of the female characters are well written. But I don't think it's misogynistic because I think it's the joke. I think the joke is that they're meant to be that because that's what all American movies are.
Yes, that is a thing, but it also is part of the main mindfuckery, which I can't talk about in non-spoilers.
There is a little bit of that for sure.
My counterpoint to that is in the spoiler section. So I'll put a pin in that and get to that in the spoiler section.
It's going to be hard to talk about this one in non-spoilers because, if you haven't seen Total Recall, Arnie goes on an adventure. That is the movie.
That is the movie. And you know what? It was a pretty good movie. I liked the adventure. I liked the action. I liked Arnie. I liked the main villains. I liked that one of the villains was the character from Starship Troopers.
Yeah, Michael Ironside.
But I liked something. I liked something specifically about his character, Pinot.
Oh, I like that this movie had 3 boobs in it. Yeah.
That's a spoiler, Sandra. No, you've spoiled the titties.
I think like this is an interesting movie because I don't think anyone really. I think a lot of people talk about this movie, but people don't recall this movie very well. If you don't mind me saying that, I don't know. Is this movie popular? It is, but
I think so.
Also, is it though? I don't know.
I think it is. It's just like reflected in. It's more of a subtle one.
Yeah.
Where it's influenced a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. Rick and Morty.
That's true.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's
because Rick and Morty had a whole episode which is like about the Quasimodo.
I don't remember.
Open your mind.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, no, it's a whole episode where Morty gets turned into a Quasimodo. Anyway, the little anyway.
I've forgotten all of Rick and Morty, apparently.
That's fine. But that also brought it to the populace, right?
That's true.
People are like, what is this reference? I need to go search up this reference. So I think it's in the zeitgeist, but it's not as talked about. It's just reference. I've seen a lot of clips from this movie elsewhere, particularly the opening scene where, this is not really a spoiler, but you like, Arnie's head is like expanding on Mars.
Oh, yeah. The practical effects in this movie are great. I just want to get that out of the way as well.
Yeah,
That's so good.
And I try not to be spoiler with it, but that specific like effect on the face was very The Thing.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I want to see who. I'm going to look up who did the special effects because I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same person.
I was going to do it before the podcast, but then I didn't.
Ah, that makes sense because I remember you not doing it before the podcast because you were finding reviews. So
I don't remember it at all.
Oh yeah, it's the same guy who did The Thing. The practical effects were headed up by Rob Botton, who did The Thing and The Fog and RoboCop. I
would have put money on it because the facial expressions were almost identical.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
And it was very. He has like a calling card in that, and it looks great. It looks amazing. It looks terrifying. It's fucked up.
It's also written by Gary Oldman, who also did Starship Troopers, and then some other people. Some of the writers of Alien, they wrote this as well, which is kind of cool.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I know which portion they did. XG Lamau.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's based off of a short story called We Can Remember It For You Wholesale, which is by Philip K. Dick, who also wrote the Blade Runner thing. So it's also very Blade Runner-esque as well in moments. I feel like it's hard to... It's the same with Starship Troopers in that Paul Verhoeven took a book and then didn't follow it. Because I don't think the movie's very accurate to the book, only because they remade it in 2012. There's a remake of Total Recall, and the whole point of that was it's close to the book, except it was bad. That movie was bad. I've seen it. It's a bad movie. It's boring. Don't like it.
That's a shame. Yeah, no, one of my friends asked me, it's like, did you watch the new one or the old one? I was like, there's a new one?
Yep. There's a new one. It takes itself too seriously, and not in a good way.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Maybe we'll review it at some point, though. Maybe I'll make you watch it. That'll be funny.
Oh, God.
Be like, watch this. And then I'll be like, try and guess the point where I fell asleep watching it the first time I saw it.
That bodes well.
But yeah, no, good movie overall. And, we can't talk about this movie without talking about Schwarney. Does anyone call him that?
Oh, we're all horny for Schwarney.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is in his prime.
This is in his prime. I think he was on the downward, not like the downward spiral in terms of his talent, the downward spiral in terms of his movies doing well. I think was starting to go down like pretty much immediately after Terminator 2. I think it just kind of dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, he's good in this. I thought he was great in this movie.
Yeah, it was really good. It's really fun. It's funny because he's just throwing around people. He's just fucking throwing people around. I'm like, oh yeah, he's a wrestler boy. He just fucking tosses people,
It's interesting that he did this, and then a few years later he did True Lies, which we've reviewed. Both movies where he plays a similar-ish character, but reversed. in many ways. If you know what I mean. That's a spoiler for both movies.
It's a spoiler for both movies, but only if you've seen one of them.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I've got a quick question for you, because I had this thought about halfway through the movie. This isn't spoilers for Total Recall, but it might be spoilers for a different movie. Is this just the Running Man again?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
No, go ahead.
I mean, it kind of is, but also it isn't, because every sci-fi from the 80s is basically the same thing.
It is in a way, because he does a lot of running, first off.
He does running.
And it has that same, like, this is a sci-fi society. But no, because the thing is, the Running Man is just Hunger Games.
Essentially, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And this movie isn't the Hunger Games.
Oh, right. You got me there, yeah.
But this movie does have a District 13.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Venusville.
But, yeah. But it's not quite the Hunger Games. But it's close. There's similarities, I'll say. Yeah.
And then also, he goes underground and finds people there. But it's not the same, because in this one, they're different.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
I think you could divide this. This movie has parts of those other movies that perhaps the other movie didn't have parts of the Hunger Games, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a diagram, right, with a circle. It's like has a District 13.
Yeah.
And it's got the Hunger Games in this movie circled, where it's got some other crossovers for those other two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I don't think we can say too much else here, non-spoilery.
Nope, we need to get into spoilers.
Let's get into spoilers. Oldie or a goodie for you. I'm gonna go first. Fuck you. I'm giving it a goodie. I love this movie. I thought it was good fun times. Very
Sandro,
fun.
I can't believe you'd say that.
What?
This movie's amazing. Why would you rate this an oldie? Like,
I didn't say that. You didn't recall correctly.
But you did, though. You just said it, Sandro.
Oh my god, what is this? More like total gaslight over here.
You see, unlike you, I enjoyed this movie, so I'm going to rate this a goodie. Because this one was fantastic.
Zach, I can't believe you're giving this movie an oldie.
Oh my god,
so good.
I normally enjoy Arnie movies. I can't believe I've given this an oldie. You know what? Sandro,
what?
I'm going to change it.
Oh.
I'm going to rate this a goodie.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Because I really enjoyed this.
Yeah. Do you think that, I think like out of Paul Verhoeven's 3 American sci-fi movies, this might be my least favorite of the 3. But they're all very good. They're all like 4.5 to 5. So
I think I enjoyed this more than Starship Troopers, which is surprising to me.
I feel like Starship Troopers just did more. I don't know.
Yeah, the problem being that I think it's because I've played Helldivers.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Helldivers expands on that, you know?
Yeah.
But then again, it almost enhances it. So I don't know. I'm torn. But I think it goes, for me, RoboCop, Total Recall. I just liked not enough Arnold Schwarzenegger in Starship Troopers.
That's fair. You know what? Yeah, that's fair.
It goes RoboCop, Total Recall,
yeah,
Starship Troopers for me.
I agree that RoboCop's the best one, yeah. I think RoboCop's the best, and then I'll go Starship Troopers and then Total Recall, but no, they're all great. What a great bunch of movies that we have now watched all of them.
It's funny because if you had asked me before watching them, I probably would have put RoboCop last.
Really?
Like, before watching it. Like, just from first impressions, I'm like, silly movie about a robotic cop. Oh, that's gonna be number 3rd.
Yeah.
And then probably I would have put Total Recall in the middle and Starship Troopers first, because I know the plot of Starship Troopers. I'm like, yeah.
Well, you'd already
silly
seen
movie
it as well.
thing. Yeah. But if I hadn't seen it, I probably still would have.
Oh, right, yeah.
But look, watching them now, it's like it's reverse order.
Yeah, it's completely reversed. All right, how many spaced boobs would you give this movie out of 3?
Ooh,
12.
12!
Oh my god,
that's a whole lot of memories.
So many. Is that a spider? Do spiders have that many?
Why would you say
I
that?
don't know.
They're not mammals, Sandro. They're not mammals. They don't produce milk, Sandro. Why would
They
you
do in
say
Rebel
that?
Moon. Anyway, let's do some
No!
taglines.
Why would you say such cursed things?
Zach, taglines, you gotta give them a thumb up or a thumb down.
If this movie didn't get a tagline that said mind-blowing, I will peak the microphone.
There isn't one that says mind blowing.
What? That's fair.
All right.
Continue.
Get ready for the ride of your life. That's that one.
Thumbs down.
Yeah. Why?
It's a good movie, but I mean, that's very generic. Come on. We can do a bit better. My first one, mind-blowing, way better.
Mind blowing's pretty good. Okay, how about how would you know if someone stole your mind?
Ooh.
Yeah, intriguing, kind of intriguing.
I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
They stole his mind. Now he wants it back.
Ooh, thumbs up. I like that one.
And the worst tagline I honestly think I've ever seen on this thing, just because of how it's written. How would you know after memory implantation if your mind is yours? I don't know where that's from.
I feel like we've had worse, but that one's pretty terrible. That's a thumbs down.
How would you
That's
know
just too
after
much.
memory implantation if your mind is yours?
That's it. Mind-blowing, guys. Mind-blowing.
Yes.
2 words.
Yeah.
Because it advertises the film. It's not truthful, but also kind of like if you think about it, but just
Does the term mindfuck come from this movie? Where does the term mindfuck come from? I want to know. It comes from the 60s. Never mind. Decordianism is a prank religion from the 60s that the term mindfuck comes from. So never mind me.
There you
But
go. Well,
I wouldn't be
that's
surprised
good
if it was made
information.
famous from this movie.
But also, like, you could have had that as a tagline. Mind fuck.
I don't think you could put fuck on a tagline.
No, but you do the like asterisks, you know.
Oh, yeah.
F asterisk CK.
Mind
know?
F asterisk CK. Yeah.
Or
that's
just
true.
mind F, you know.
A mind F. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to be PG over there, you know.
Well, howdy there. It's me, Selly McSeller. I'm an American, and this is another ad. Now, you might think that my favorite time of year is mid-June because that was when Independence Day was released in theaters, and as an American, I think it's an incredible movie. But no, you'd be incorrect. My favorite time of the year is the start of June because that's when Sandro and Zach begin their Cage-orama series over on Patreon. They kicked off the series this year with National Treasure 2. Here's a clip, but level of cageness, yes. So, the scene in Buckingham Palace where he's having a big old argument with Diane Kruger, that's full cage. That whole scene
Yeah,
is full
he goes.
cage.
I was not expecting him to go like steer into gear full cage because he just starts screaming in a lobby, and then the guard comes over and he's like, "Oh, poppycock, crumpets, and periwinkle," you know. It just starts mocking him.
Which was so funny. I don't think I've ever seen Nicolas Cage do a British accent before. It was great.
Yeah.
Wow, that episode sure sounds like a great start to this year's Cage-orama. 3 months of Sandro and Zach watching nothing but Nicolas Cage movies over at patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod, where you can also get ad-free episodes, and for free, you can vote on the movies that the boys review here on the main show. Now, speaking of free, that's how I'm going to watch Independence Day, because it came out 29 years ago today, so I'm going to go watch it today, and I'm going to pirate it. That's right, I'm going to go steal the Independence Day movie. That was a quote from the first National Treasure movie. Fuck, I'm an American. Yeehaw! I don't remember what section we're up to now, Zach. I don't recall what the format is anymore.
Well, let me refresh your memory.
Oh, okay. Yes, very well. Very good.
We're going to go through the plot.
Are we?
No,
Oh.
because I put 2 pins at the start. First off, character that was in Starship Troopers. What's that actor's name?
Spoilers, Michael Ironside. Yeah. Michael
Yeah,
Ironside.
spoilers. Spoiler time. Yeah, the actor who plays that, he's a cuck in this movie, and I thought that was funny.
I thought he was very
He's
funny in
funny because he's a cuck.
I liked when he was like, but she doesn't like it. And I was like, you fucking fool.
You cucksicle. One of the bad guys is our cuck. That's funny.
I like
That's
how...
funny.
Spoilers. I like when he sees her dead. He doesn't even, like, recognize it's her for, like, 30 seconds. He's too busy. And then he's like, oh, shit, she's dead.
And then counterpoint to points you were making earlier about the whole movie as a critique and other things, because the whole movie is a dream, Sandro.
I mean,
the whole movie is a dream. That's
it?
the question I want to pose to you,
Yes,
Sandro,
it is.
because we're in the spoiler section,
Oh.
and we need to talk about it, because the movie isn't heavily implied that it's either a dream or it's not at all. And which one do you think it is?
Yeah, it's a dream.
Yeah, it's very clearly
it's
a
a
dream.
dream.
It's
None
like
of this
very
is
obviously
happening.
a dream. But
None of
it
this is
could
real.
be happening though. Because it's a movie, so it's possible.
It's definitely possible, but I don't...
That's the point of the movie, I think, is there's two possibilities. Is that one is that it's a dream, or the other is that it is, in fact, reality.
I don't think that it's real just because of how obvious... Not like how obvious, how heavily implied it is that it's not a dream. Just how well everything turns out. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like if this wasn't a dream, I don't know, Sharon Stone, I don't know.
But then you had the scientist guy, right? And his whole thing was, I'm part of the group that's trying to get you out of the dream. But then he turned out to be fake because he sweated, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
So that implies that it is real.
No, it implies that... I mean, if you had a dream where this was revealed that you didn't... That halfway through getting a dream implanted, you were actually a spy and all that. If you were having that dream, I think that you would have a point in that dream where someone tells you that you're in a dream. I just feel like that's a logical plot point for it. I feel like that would just kind of happen. I don't know.
Yes, but why does that guy sweat, Sandro?
Because he's in the dream. He's a part of the dream.
Yeah, he's part of the dream.
I don't think that he's a... I don't think we see anything past when he goes under that... None of that's real and none of that's connected to reality. That's all just...
But Sandro, how do you know that even before then he wasn't in a dream?
Well, that's where my point comes in. This whole movie is a movie. And the joke is that it's a movie. So it's
I disagree. The joke is it's a dream.
But it's a movie dream. It's a dream movie.
And that's why all the female characters have no writing, because the whole point is it's a dream.
Well, wait, hang on. Your theory is that it's a dream before it's a dream?
No. My theory is none of it's a dream, and you're wrong, and you're bad.
Well, I disagree.
No,
with that.
it's very obviously a dream. I feel like the main thing for me that makes me think it's a dream is the instant terraforming of Mars.
Oh yeah, that was.
I feel like even alien technology can't make me believe that they can instantly terraform Mars.
Yeah.
Also, if they had the technology to instantly terraform Mars, why did they not use it, right?
Well, for capitalism, to make people pay for air or whatever.
No. That's the bad guy's reason for not using it.
Oh, you mean the good aliens?
I mean the aliens that built the fucking thing to begin with. They're like, we built a whole fucking thing to terraform Mars instantaneously. And then we just didn't use it.
They didn't use it because it's a dream. That's why.
Whoa, it's a dream?
I think that like it's also like it's a weird dream because he's not really getting what he paid for. And also, what happens when because you're meant to remember this trip as a holiday.
Disagree, this is exactly what he paid for. And I'm saying he's an idiot for paying for that one.
Oh, 100% he's an idiot for paying for this, yeah.
Yeah. No, the man literally paid money for automatic trauma to be dumped on him, right? Like PTSD, right? He paid for PTSD.
He paid for a trip to Mars, a memory of a trip to Mars where he is a spy. Is what he paid for. However, what he got was the memory of a trip to Mars where he was himself and a spy but himself. And then he also was the hero and terraformed Mars. But then when he's out of that dream...
I feel like
because the whole point is that it's meant to be a memory that you can go back on and think about. But if you did stuff in that memory that didn't happen in real life...
Yeah, but it still feels like it's real, Sandro, in your mind, in your memory. If you go back to your memories.
Yes.
But also, point to counterpoint the point you're counterpointing.
Oh.
I've lost the point of that. I thought about that bit too deeply. I think the whole point was that he was supposed to save the day, right? That's part of... If I'm paying for a spy mission thing, I want to be I think they do say saves the world or something, you know. They do say that at some point, that part of the mission is that... Like, I feel like that's implied. The point of the spy mission is you're meant to be the hero.
Yes.
You know... Like, that part made sense to me. More importantly, Sandro, you get to shoot your wife. And I feel like I would pay money to have a memory of me shooting my wife. Right?
Again, I love the fucking satire American movies here where it's like, I hate my wife.
Yeah, bang! I just get to shoot my wife in my memory.
So
Imagine
funny.
you pay money for this thing, blah, 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 blah. You shoot your wife, and she, like, gets to see that in your mind or something, and then you come back home, and it's like, hey, honey, how's it going? And she's like, why the fuck did you shoot me,
Why
bro?
did you dream of that? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Is it, like, written? Is it scripted? Or is it your consciousness makes it up? Is it your dreaming, or is it a scripted event that's put into your head? I want to know the intricacies of how this works.
I think it's you make it up for sure.
Yeah.
But then they tell your wife that they put it in.
So they total recall you, and you have a dream, and you're lucid dreaming a quick, like, 2-week-long vacation adventure trip, and then they write it all down, and they show your wife. That's what it is. All done in the day.
I feel like I would want my money back if they showed that to my wife. I would be upset. But then again, I probably wouldn't dream of shooting my wife.
Yeah, I don't think.
But then again, I probably wouldn't have bought this one because this definitely seemed like the worst one to buy.
Yeah.
Like, again, going back to my first point, you're paying money for PTSD.
Why the fuck do you want to go to Mars, Arnold Schwarzenegger? It's the worst place.
Well, because he was originally there, because the whole thing wasn't a dream.
Oh
The
my
whole
god, it
thing
wasn't a
was
dream though, actually.
Real. That's the whole
Ah.
point of why he's obsessed over it, was because originally he was from there, and they mind fucked with him, Sandro. What, you paying a fucking attention to the fucking movie?
So, in case you don't know, and the podcast has been inaccessible up to this point, so Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, oh, this place can put memories in my head. I'm going to get a memory of Mars. And then it turns out that he's actually a spy who had his mind wiped.
Yes.
And then it's like a fish out of water spy comedy where he's killing his wife and then meeting someone else, the woman of his dreams or whatever. And then,
I think it's lighthearted. I wouldn't call it a comedy. I don't know if comedy.
Definitely isn't a I mean, it's camp. This movie's camp.
Yeah,
it's not a
very
comedy.
camp. Oh, I love camp, though.
Oh, me
Camp
too.
is some of my favorite.
It's so good. And then he's in Mars, and then he saves the day, terraforms Mars, and also his actual, like, because he got his mind wiped, the person he was before the mind wipe was evil, and they set him up, and then he's like, nah, fuck you. That was a good twist. I didn't see that twist coming. That was good.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. Yeah.
Even though I've seen the remake, I haven't seen this before, I should say that. I've only seen the remake. I don't know why. I just watched it, and I was like, the fuck is this? I hate this. This is terrible.
That's really interesting that you hadn't seen the original but saw the new one and are coming into this like
It's
that.
kind of like a Fifth Element. I've always seen it on TV, but I've never actually sat down and watched the whole thing.
Wait, you've never seen The Fifth Element?
I've seen most of it on SBS, but I haven't like actually sat down and watched it. Also, I don't care because the director's a pedophile.
That's fair call. But The Fifth Element's real good.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the plot of the movie essentially. If you have any questions, go watch the movie.
Sandro, if we didn't watch movies by pedophiles, then what movies could we watch?
None of the X-Men movie, that's for sure.
Oof. Yikes.
Ugh. I really enjoyed in this movie how fucked the recall center is. I like how Paul Verhoeven always has really good, like, fake ads for things in his movies. I love his fake ads. They're so funny.
I liked particularly the TVs on trains.
Yes.
Which is a really interesting, look into. He predicted that we would be watching ads on public transport, right?
Yes. Yeah.
He didn't predict correctly that the TVs would be held in our hands and we would be glued to them 24/7.
Yeah.
But he was really close, and that's interesting.
It's interesting. The technology in this movie is really interesting. I feel like it's like a slightly more advanced... I feel like it's not as advanced as Blade Runner, which is really interesting because that came out before this. I feel like Blade Runner is way more, super futuristic and also kind of correct as well.
Yeah, but this movie is also kind of correct, though. Because it has TVs advertised, but it also has self-driving cars.
That's true. It does have that.
If you think about it.
I loved the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager as the Johnny Cab. It was great.
That was very funny. I was kind of sad when he kicked the bucket because I was like, I was enjoying his stupid character.
I was like, damn, he'll never get to fuck the Miss Kermit gremlin ever again.
Oh.
Do you remember when he did that?
R.I.P. Yeah, I do remember. We watched that
in real
on the podcast.
life, not in the movie.
Yeah, I know. And he had to sue because they made him film a sex scene. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, self-driving cars, constant, it's such an interesting, concept, and that's, what Philip K. Dick is so good at, is, having that, you don't go on a vacation, you get the you pay for the memory of a vacation. It's such an interesting concept that I'm I just like it. I just like the concept.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not to do with what you just said, but it is a cool concept. I like the idea of memory vacations. That's an interesting one.
Because it's like, why would you pay someone, why would you let someone have annual leave when you could just give them the memory of having annual leave?
Yeah, it's interesting in that aspect because of how memory actually works.
Yeah.
And how, a lot of your memory is your brain making up things to fill the gaps. You will have solid memories and you can remember something perfectly, but sometimes you just don't, and your brain fills it in. Your brain can lie to you and make up fake memories. And that's a proven thing that it can do, which is crazy to me. That's some things that I've looked up, and that's mind fuckery. It's some of the memories you have back when you were a kid are just wrong. They are incorrect, and you will never know which ones are.
Exactly. My memory of watching Cats and Dogs and thinking it was good was wrong because it's actually mid. So, yeah, my mind just made that.
Anyway, but besides, having a holiday that's implanted into your mind.
Yeah.
I think isn't that very dystopian? It's I feel like that could be good. If you got the benefits of, you had this memory. The problem is, with a holiday, you usually go with people, I think.
Yeah, more social, for sure.
So I'm wondering, could you get, a group memory?
A shared memory? That would be interesting.
That was something I was thinking about.
Also, I feel like when you go on holiday, especially if you're an adult and you've got a job, you go on holiday and, your body relaxes. It's not just, your mind is not in work anymore. Your body actually does relax, whether it's, you go to, a warmer climate or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any of that if you just have a memory of it.
That's true. I wonder if you could do, some physical therapy for, a week or something.
Maybe.
Or, there's something you could do there. But there's also the placebo effect, Sandra.
Oh, that's also very true.
I'm going to bring that one up.
Yeah,
even though you know it's fake, your mind might convince the rest of your body, hey, we went on vacation.
Yeah, that's true.
But, maybe it's instead of having a month vacation... So I'm thinking corporate sense, we can cut down on these big month vacations that our shitty little employees have to go on to recharge, right? Mm-hmm. They're where? I'm overworked and underpaid. Where? And then they need to go on these big monthly vacations. It's ew, gross, disgusting. You want to hang out with your family? No. Let's cut it down to at least a week, right? And then you go to maybe a massage parlor or whatever. We get something to relax your body, you have those like moon pods, right?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we have your moon pods, and we do the whole like we get your body into a state of bliss, and then we hit you with the bam memory of going out and chilling.
Well, I mean, if your body is in one of those pods and it's there for a week, then you could have the memory of like a year-long vacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking with that money maker.
I feel like we're getting into weird severance like logic here, though, where it's all fucked and we shouldn't do it. I don't know.
No, I think actually corporate America is good, though, Sandra. And capitalism wins every time.
Well, that's true.
Capitalism only produces winners.
That's definitely does that.
But I think the trouble is it would have to be a special moon pod. You can't have someone just be in there for a week, right? Because there's some bodily functions I can think of that would be bad to happen if you're stuck in a moon pod.
What are you talking about? You're talking about pooping? You're talking about cum?
I've heard stories about someone who had diarrhea in a moon pod.
In a pod, yeah.
And how that literally, like, the machine was unusable after that.
If you poop in your dream, do you poop in real life?
Well,
no, because... Do you poop in your dream? How realistic are the dreams?
Sanjo, I don't think it matters because if you're in there a week, at some point your body's going to poop whether you fucking like it or not.
Most likely. Your body's going to do a bunch of shit that's just going to be floating around.
What I'm thinking, all right, Sandro, and this might sound a little crazy,
Oh no,
okay?
what is this?
But what about like a huge vat of pods, right? And you plug people in, like you got the mask... And then you got the things around the genitals and other things.
The Matrix-ish kind of. Sure.
No.
Yeah,
I haven't got to the Matrix part of my story yet.
Yeah.
And then you like plug them into a just giant machine, like AI scenario where it creates a world where everyone can sort of be in the same world.
A big old MMO, yep.
Yeah. And they can live in this awesome paradise and whatever and other things. And meanwhile... The machine can harvest their energy. Yeah.
I was going to say, here's the problem, though. MMOs are mainly bad because when you have to put that many people in them, you have to sacrifice good parts of games. Wouldn't that be the same in this situation?
Yes. Well, I don't want to do a Sword Art Online because that's shit. I just want to do the first part of the Matrix where the Matrix said, yeah, we made paradise, and then all the people didn't believe it was real and rebelled.
What? I also don't want to do a Sword Art Online because I don't want to fuck my cousin or whatever happens in that show. I don't remember.
That's the only good part of the show, Sandro, and how dare you.
I've seen... I don't like anime, just as a blanket rule. I think that a lot of it is just not for me. The writing's terrible and I don't care.
Even watched the Avatar... Way of Water.
I have once, which was more... I can't wait to go see Avatar 3 with you at the end of the year, Zach. We're going to do it.
Yeah. Wait, that's coming out this year?
Yeah, it's this year. Apparently. Again, I don't believe it until there's a trailer, but, you know. What else is in this movie? Let's talk about... one other thing that I think goes towards my point of the whole movie is a joke is the funny black sidekick is so cliche in this movie to the point where he, like, betrays them. It's so, like, it's just the...
I was also not expecting him to betray them.
I wasn't, but then when he did, I was like, that makes sense, because that's the joke. The joke is that, you know, it's like, he's the funny black sidekick guy, which is a racist stereotype from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And, like, a classic... American thing that you put in a movie. So, you know, if you're making fun of American movies, you put that in. And then also, like, him then being evil, it's like, oh yeah, of course, he's the one who betrays them because that's what you would do in an American movie. And so I was like, whoa, this is so funny. But also, I liked the actor. He was really good in this. I thought he was good.
No, he was awesome. He was really great.
Yeah.
I love the whole, like, taxis fighting over people. That was very real,
that was fun.
You know?
Yeah.
That was pretty great. I love the mutants in this film. I thought all the mutants were rather interesting. Well, I'll get into more on them to a second. But I also liked, I think my point earlier was like, you were like, the female characters are very basic, which is very funny if you think about this as a male man's dream.
Yeah.
Is that he just dreams the women are really basic, which is
It's funny.
very funny.
It's like,
anyway,
like my thought was it's making fun of American movies because all of the women are fucking, they're not characters in this.
Yeah.
But also, it then goes a level deeper where, it's Arnie's dream, so that's just how that's just how the character views women. Which also, there's a funny little bit of satire in there as well, which is good. Yeah, I liked that. That's funny.
But yeah, I really liked the mutants.
Yes.
And how it's implied. They have psychic abilities.
They do.
Which is an interesting tidbit of lore that isn't just...
Wait, that's in Starship Troopers as well.
Yes.
And it also plays not really a plot point in both movies.
And I believe there was also a bit in RoboCop.
Is there?
No, I just made that up.
I don't remember.
Or did I?
Oh, I don't recall.
I think the main bad guy is implied to have some sort of like psychic abilities in RoboCop.
In RoboCop? Maybe.
Yeah, but I would have to, like, not powerful ones, but he's just got like connections. There's some weird connection thing. Anyway, moving on. In this movie, though, we have confirmed psychic abilities.
We do.
But it's only by mutants.
Yes.
And mutants appear when they are exposed to Mars's atmosphere.
Yes, because it's so radioactive.
Also, we haven't talked about it yet, but exposure to Mars, we have several scenes of people being tossed into Mars and just their heads expanding and going,
yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But also we have an ending where that happens, and we'll get there eventually. But yeah, people get radiation damage.
Yes.
And they cause them mutate.
Yes, they mutate.
And it gives them mutant powers.
Yeah, they look like, it's kind of like Fallout ghouls, kinda.
Yeah, it has a bit of that vibe. Definitely a look in that vibe, because it's radiation damage. So it's a similar sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting because they have psychic powers, which implies that psychic powers are possible.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they can, like, predict things. Like, there's a little girl on the street that comes up and it's like, I can guess your birthday. And it's like, are you a Taurus or whatever?
Yeah.
Which is, it's very interesting to me that they haven't been immediately, like, employed by the government, right?
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Because they're just kind of like the poor people. They're like, they all get shoved into the poor districts, pretty much.
But except for the taxi driver who is recruited by the government, right?
I think the idea there is because he can hide it, which is a good commentary on disabled people in general. If you're neurodivergent but know how to hide it, then you'll get hired in a job and do well. But if you can't hide it, then good luck.
Ah, that's true. But also, I would argue then that he does actually have psychic powers, and that's how he instantly befriends Arnie.
Oh, maybe I didn't think of it like that.
Because he has subtle influence.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Using his powers.
Yeah.
But I also, it's interesting. I think it's because the psychics just hate the government, because the reason they are psychics is because they've taken radiation damage, which is fucked up, Their lives are fucked up. So obviously they all hate the government.
Yes.
But I guess that's why they want to kill Quasimodo, because the psychics are really powerful. The little dude in the guy's chest is called Quasimodo, or not Quasimodo.
Quato.
Quato, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole plot of the Rick and Morty episode.
Yes. I have seen that episode, and I liked that season, but I don't remember that episode at all. But I know I've seen it.
It's literally the whole point. All right. Summer and Morty are fighting with a machine that can manipulate their stats, and then they fall into a pool, and they get fused together, and he's a little quasi guy, and everyone's like, whoa, that's super cool. And she's like, hell yeah, it is. And then she goes to a club, and she joins an exclusive club for people with Quasimodos. And then And then she gets fucked up. And then they kill the lead Quasimodo guy, and Morty is going around. It's a weird episode, but it references this a lot, and it's all about psychic powers. And it's funny because I think Rick plays like a sound effect that sounds like he's activating psychic powers, and the bad guys run away, and then he's like, "Yep, it's just a chip that makes sound."
Pretty good. Going back to the mutants, I do like as well how one of them is played by a bloody Dean Norris, a bald guy from Breaking Bad. He was in Starship Troopers as well. I was like, why the fuck do I recognize this guy Tony? Like, I was looking at him and I'm like, I know all the makeup and I can't look past the makeup, the really good like mutant makeup, but I know this guy. I've seen him in things, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's Dean Norris. And I was like, there he is. Yeah, that was good.
I liked the Venus sector.
Yeah, it was good.
I liked the various workers at the establishments there.
Yeah.
Such as the three-breasted lady.
Yes.
As previously mentioned.
She's in this movie a lot. I thought she was just in like one random scene where she's like, look at him. And then she shows up a bunch of times.
Shout out to her for, at the end, being the only one to like confront the bad guy, and she geth shot for it. It's fucked up.
She does. Yeah, for real. She does. She dies. It's crazy.
There's also a vertically challenged individual.
Thumbelina. What a name. That's ableist, but also maybe that's the joke. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, that's the tricky bit, Sandro, because by your theory, all of it's a joke that's a criticism of Hollywood, right?
I think, yes.
So you could put in the worst things and be like, oh no, it's actually a criticism, though.
Yes, you could do that, which would be mean-spirited and bad. And maybe that's what this movie is. Or maybe it's just problematic.
Or maybe it's a criticism, or maybe it's problematic. Or maybe it's all a dream.
Oh
maybe
my
you
god,
have
it's all a dream.
Sandro, that's the real mindfuck of this movie is it problematic or not?
Yeah, that yeah, exactly.
That's to get you woke thinking, you know?
Stop saying that. Anyway, it's fine.
No, but it is, yeah, it does feel a little ableist in that aspect, but also she does kick ass.
She does.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, she does.
I like the fight scene that breaks out there. It's pretty great.
I think the action in this movie is really solid. Like, it's all really, like, the whether it's a firefight or a fist fight where blood goes everywhere for some reason, it's great. All of it's great.
Yeah, I really like how the, like, second in command guy who's on Earth to start with, really just hates this other guy who is part of their team. So, like, because we see at the start of the movie, he does everything in his power to try and fucking kill him.
He does, yes.
Right? As soon as he goes rogue, he tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Which is very funny to think about at the time. They are on the same side. He is specifically trying to let him go.
Yes.
Like his orders are to let him go so that he can infiltrate the rebels, right?
Yeah, well, the point is that Arnie is not brainwashed, but like he's told that he's a spy who is trying to help the mutants on Mars.
Yeah.
So that he can infiltrate the mutants on Mars and kill the leader.
Yes.
Because the actual Arnie is evil, he works for the bad guys. Yeah.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, this other bad guy is just like, nah, fuck him, I want to kill him anyway.
It's very funny when you think about it,
If you think about it, right? Going back to the start, he does everything he can to try and kill him.
Which is why it makes so much sense that the main bad guy, is it Ronnie Cox? The main bad guy is like, why the fuck are you trying to kill Arnie, you fucking idiot?
Yeah.
Like the whole time. Because I always was like, why does he want to keep him alive? It makes no sense that he wants to keep this guy alive.
Yeah.
And then it makes sense at the end.
I love the twist. Man, the twist of this movie was real good. The, like, little twists and turns. I was like, this makes sense and is cool, and I like it. And it was set up earlier.
That's why I said that I don't think this movie's as popular as it could be or should be, because that wasn't spoiled for me. But granted, I have watched the remake, so maybe it was. I just forgot. But, you know.
Yeah. That implies you were paying attention throughout that movie.
It's so boring. It's such a boring movie.
Yeah, which is interesting to compare to like The Fifth Element, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, The Sixth Sense is what I mean.
Oh, yeah, in terms of the twist that everyone knows. Yeah.
Yeah, and the twist that everyone knows. Because I have never seen that movie.
Yeah.
Specifically because I already know the twist.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes me not want to see that movie because I feel like it will suck knowing the twist. Like, if I had gone into that movie not knowing the twist, it would be definitely a much better experience.
Yeah.
I presume.
Probably.
I'm sure it's still a great movie, and I will eventually watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do it at some point.
But it does annoy me that I already know the twist. Like, I hate that I know twists of things that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
But it is in the zeitgeist. People will talk about it, and you will hear about it. And it's just how it's going to work.
That's right.
But for this movie, didn't hear about it. Didn't see it coming. Pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty good for real. Is there much else to say?
Also, second in command is a cuck.
Yeah.
And then he punches him in the face. Very
I
funny
love
to
Michael Ironside. He's such a good actor.
Yeah.
Every time
it's
he did
so
anything,
good.
I'm like, yeah.
Did he punch him in the face after he killed his wife?
I don't. Yes?
Yeah, like when he's strapped to the chair. I feel like that was pretty light for someone who just killed your wife.
Fair.
Honestly.
That's fair.
I think that's deserved, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how Arnie fights out of that chair. Like, Arnie's solution for 90% of the problems in this film is to break out, like, just strength his way out of things, right?
Yes. It's so, like, his performance is so interesting in this because he's a very strong guy, but he's so, like, the character of Douglas Quaid, he's so dumb. He's so dumb, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
He's such a, like, he's just, it's probably one of Arnie's, like, dumbest roles he's ever played. It's just this guy.
Whoa, that's very harsh.
Not in a bad way. I think it's a good commentary.
You just called him fucking dumb.
Yeah, the character. Yeah, he's stupid.
Yeah, what? And you're like, not in a bad way, but he's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it serves the point of the movie. He's not a real guy in the movie and in the real life.
Yes, not in a bad way for the movie, but you are shitting on. No, that's what I'm saying, Sandra. You're shitting on poor Quaid. I mean, he's just a regular Joe in his own mind, right?
Yeah.
You know, so you can't be blamed for being dummy. Also, we haven't talked about it yet, but this moves us to alien tech.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that a little bit.
We're right at the end of the movie. Because throughout the movie, it's like, you know, they hint, hey, there's alien tech on Mars, right?
Oh, yeah. Also, the movie's about colonizing Mars as well. That's just a big point of the movie.
Well, yeah.
This is what Musk wants to do, probably. Who knows?
True. Including the mutations part, I'm sure.
Part. Including the, I can sell air. including that part as well.
Yeah, I did like the bit where it's like, we've trapped someone in, let's close all the doors and turn off the oxygen.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Which is like, that's a real good, like, bad guy move. It's like, yeah, that's a pretty good power play.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they could just, instead of going off and trying to kill a dude, just close the doors, turn off the oxygen. And it's like, well, you either turn yourself in or I kill everyone, including yourself. What do you do? It's like, yeah. But yeah, the reason there's like mining closures, there's a lot of protests and stuff happening on Mars.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of mining closures because in the mines they have found ancient alien technology.
Yes.
In fact, the ancient alien technology that they find is specifically one that instantly terraforms Mars.
Yes.
And going by the logic of Stellaris, a computer game that I'm sure literally 0 people listening have played. Mm-hmm. If you have played it, I apologize. It's like, this must have been done by a super advanced civilization, right?
Yeah.
That set this up to terraform Mars and then, like, never came back to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my theory as to why this is here. Because it's like, okay, this must have been set up by, like, let's say a super advanced alien race, very wealthy, very powerful, and maybe they get in a war or something, you know?
Yeah.
A space war with another alien race, and they fight over it and they lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have to either flee to escape or they get wiped out or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the only situation I see where they just leave this behind, is because it's like, yeah, we gotta leave or we're dead, you know, or we are dead, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just left this behind, this project, and it finished working, and it just needs the go-ahead, and then boom, Mars is terraformed. And maybe they did that for Earth, but that's a different theory. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we have this machinery. There's a really great, like, ending fight scenes in this alien machinery area. One where he's using a hologram.
Yes.
To, like, shoot himself around the battlefield.
That was very fun. I like that action scene a lot. Yeah, that was good.
This is funny and also ironic because he's fucking with them, whereas in a lot of the movie previously, they're fucking with him and his mind.
He really takes that's when he starts to do, like, one-liners as well.
Yeah, he's just quipping all over the place. He also...
Some good ones in there.
He also pretends to be the hologram at some point, and he goes, ha ha ha, you think I'm the hologram? Yeah, you think I'm the real Quaid? I am.
Shoots them. It's very funny. It's great stuff.
That was a good line. I very much appreciate that one. That was funny.
Screw you, is he with the drill. It's fun. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When he kills that other character. Yeah.
I think my favorite one is when he kills Sharon Stone. He's like, consider that a divorce. I was like,
oh yeah. That's what I thought of the whole "I shot my wife" bit. You know.
Yeah.
Because he literally is like, it's like that's the modern man dream, divorcing your wife by shooting her in the head. I hate my wife. Bottom text.
But yeah, he turns on the terraforming thing and then it just instantly terraforms Mars and everyone has air now.
And there's an interesting tense bit between the main bad guy who's saying, "Oh yeah, you can't turn that on or else it will kill everyone."
Yeah.
Which is like, once again, it's like there's like 3 or 4 points of this movie where you don't know what will happen. Or you don't know, or more to the point, you don't know what's true.
Yeah, you don't know whether or not you believe him, like he hasn't turned it on purely because he wants to profit off of air. Or he actually knows that it's going to destroy the planet.
Yeah, right? Or it might not destroy the planet. It still might terraform, but it might terraform by killing everyone. That was my theory, was it will terraform. Because terraforming, like, on Earth, at least, took thousands of years of a volcanic hellscape, shooting up ash and all sorts of things into the atmosphere to create a atmosphere that
exactly.
then traps the oxygen that then caused evolution and other things, if you go by that sort of theory, right?
For sure.
Like, so if you were to terraform in a similar way, that would kill everyone alive on the planet at the time. Like, maybe in the future it might be That's what I thought he might be implying. And seemed realistic to me.
Yep.
It's also, like, a struggle in several other moments, like, where they say he's in a dream. And it's like, is he in a dream? Is he not? But that also, like, implements in your mind that he might be in a dream this whole time. My only gripe with the movie is, they have this final fight scene, and then they're thrown out into the atmosphere with zero suits or protection on.
Yeah.
And they are, like, breathing in Mars' atmosphere. They're all instantly dead, I'm pretty sure.
They're mutating it up. Their eyes are bulging out. They're getting destroyed.
I feel like in real life, you are instantly dead if you are out there on Mars. Mars has zero oxygen as well. It's like...
I feel like it would take, like, 30 seconds, maybe, to, like, probably die. My gripe is that they're fine when the oxygen's on.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah. That leads into the next bit where the Mars is, like, instantly terraformed.
Yeah.
Which I'm calling BS, that this alien technology can shoot oxygen into the atmosphere so fast that it insta-atmospheres and everyone's just fine. And everyone isn't just breathing in Mars dust 24/7 and choking to death, right?
Also the fact that they're not mutants anymore, even though they were out in the Mars atmosphere, yet all the other mutants are still mutants.
Well,
you know what I mean?
No. Do you know what I'm thinking, Sandro? I'm thinking, like, 2 days later after this movie, everyone's starting to drop because of radiation poisoning. Because
probably.
Everyone went outside. That's what I'm thinking. Or they're mutating into mutants, right?
Yeah. Maybe.
That's what this movie doesn't show you. But my real gripe with this movie...
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because none of that was actually my gripe. My real gripe is right at the end, Arnold goes, I just thought of something. What if this is all a dream? And I was like, no, that's the point. Why did you bring up the point? That felt like... And I think I agree with you, and this is a mockery of, like...
Yes.
Hollywood in that aspect, because of course they bring up the whole fucking point of the fucking movie right at the end to really shove it down the American...
Just really ham-fisted in.
Yeah, it's so ham-fisted at the end there. It is very cheesy, and I like the line where she's like, oh, if it's a dream, then you should kiss me quickly before it ends.
Yes.
And then they kiss, and then it cuts to black, you know?
Yeah, that final line annoyed me as well, but also I was like, that's the point. It's fine. It's making fun of everyone, so it's fine. But yeah.
Oh, it pissed me off so badly. I was like, no, you're just like... I guess it is important, though. I think it is a good ending line.
I'm just looking through my notes to see if there's anything else that I didn't mention. Oh, all the Pepsi product placement was hilarious. I just want to put that out there. All of the product placement was all like it was always in action scenes, which was very funny. I was like, oh, this is just making fun of American movies because there's Pepsi everywhere. My only other note to mention was one from my partner, which was, did you notice that all of the sets in this movie were from the Super Mario Bros. Movie? It's all the same sets. I don't know if that's a fact, but they look identical, so...
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's true, though.
There's that one diner bar that they go into in Venusville. Actually, I think it's the one with everyone in it. That one main bar.
Everyone in it? Yeah.
That is the bar from Mario. It's like, it has to be. It looks exactly the same.
I think that's cracked, and I think you're true facts for real. I think it's all reused.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a Hollywood exec, I'd be like, yeah, just reuse those.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're good sets to reuse. And that would make sense because there was a lot of sets in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of locations and a lot of practical effects and exploding cars. And I was like, man, this film looks expensive.
I think this was meant to be, I think it's one of the most expensive movies at the time. It cost somewhere between $50 to $80 million.
And it's an R-rated film.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's one of the most expensive movies of all time at the time it came out. And, I mean, it made a lot of money, so.
Yeah.
It's a good one. The story behind this movie is really interesting as well. It was, they were gonna make it in the 70s. The people who did, the same, Dino De Laurentiis bought this, and I think he also bought the rights to Dune at the same time. So he made Dune first, and then he was gonna make this with David Cronenberg. But then, obviously, Dune did not, that was a bit of a disaster. So I think he then sold the rights, and then they made this instead. But yeah.
Disaster?
I mean, from a technical and it's an awful movie, but I love it.
Disagree on all fronts, actually. Actually, you're wrong.
I'm so excited. I'm getting a big old box set of that movie, and it will have the extended cut on Blu-ray, and I'm very excited to finally watch the extended cut of that movie.
I was about to say, because you disliking that movie, I was about to call you a word called once again. But now that I hear you're getting the box set, I'm like, oh, hey, there we go. We're back on board.
But yeah, that is Total Recall. Now, Zach, it's time to talk about the future of this franchise, because you might think it's just one remake, but it's not, actually.
Wait, they're making another one?
Probably not, because no one... So they remade it in 2012. Colin Farrell's the main guy. I think Bryan Cranston's the bad guy. So I would like to review it, but I don't want to. That movie takes Mars out completely. It's only on Earth.
Oh.
Because it's more accurate to the book, and in the book, Mars is only mentioned. I don't think they ever go to Mars in the book.
That's interesting. I liked Mars as a visual like, you could do this movie on Earth.
You could.
Like, I think it would work. It's just like Mars has some interesting visual aspects to it that add to the whole thing. But I like it, like, you could still have mutants on Earth, right? Like, the main story could still play out. I think that could be interesting.
The only thing I remember from it is it looks good, but it's boring. It's really boring and dry, and it doesn't it doesn't
cheese it up. It doesn't camp it up a bit.
No, it doesn't. It's quite boring. But again, I'd watch it again. And try and remember where I fell asleep. But that's the remake that they made in 2012.
I think that's one we'd have to try and watch together so we could mock it at the time.
I think so. So that one was in 2012, but there was actually going to be a sequel to Total Recall based on another Philip K. Dick novel, Minority Report.
I have never heard of that. I don't know what that is.
They were, I'll give you the history.
You on the back foot for a second.
No, they were going to make a Total Recall sequel adapting the book Minority Report. But it was too expensive, and the production company went bankrupt, so they never made it. But then, obviously, Spielberg then made Minority Report with Tom Cruise as a standalone movie, which is a good one, a real good one. I like that movie.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, yeah, that was originally going to be a sequel to this, which is so interesting to think about. I think that would have worked.
I want to go and watch that and then, see if it could be a sequel,
I definitely... And there's also a TV show called Total Recall 2070, which I think is a prequel. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what that is.
Sounds like it was probably good and definitely not sucked.
It's a TV show from the 90s, so either is possible.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
Six-time Emmy Award winner and Tony Award nominee Jean Smart returns to Broadway for 12 weeks only in a world premiere play about a writer whose words are her greatest gift, her deepest secret, and her only way out.
Call me Izzy.
Don't miss this moving tour de force performance now on Broadway. Get tickets at callmeizzyplay.com.
Alrighty, Sandro, it's time for live reviews.
Oh, my voice hurts after hearing that.
But Arnie's in charge today. I shall be reading the reviews, and you will have to guess the rating. These reviews are from Rotten Tomatoes, so the scores, obviously the audience, so the scores go from 0.5 to 5.
What do we have? 82% from the critics, 79% from the audience. Lower. Interesting. Probably because they're like, this is making fun of me, and I hate it.
They didn't understand the nuance. You understand that they were actually the ones being mocked the whole time, and they were like, this is a very generic movie. There's a lot of generic cliches, but that was the point the whole time.
Exactly.
It was the whole time.
The whole time. Yes, Arnie. Thank you, Arnie.
Anyway.
Why are you here, Arnie? You usually only come to our award shows. Why are you here?
Zach asked me to come in for a little spotlight at the end here because he was getting real tired.
Oh, right.
It's been a long week and other things.
It is 11 p.m. right now.
Yeah, so he's actually gone on a little dream vacation.
Right.
You know what they say.
Yes.
Yeah. Except his dream vacation was more like what you call a World War Z.
A zombie with Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Are you familiar with it? Yeah, that one. Except it's all his wife.
Oh,
it's all his ex-wives.
His ex.
Just
how many? Yes. Oh my goodness, so many. Like the same one over and over again, or like a bunch of them?
No, they're all different. Every single one. Like hundreds of thousands.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's a dream. It could be unrealistic.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
Hashtag I hate my wife. Boomer humor.
That's the 90s. I love it.
Yeah. Do you know... No, I'm going to skip that joke I was about to make. You can't make that joke nowadays.
Okay, all right. You're not going to say it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that joke on the woke...
Oh my god! You gotta stop saying that. You gotta stop with that.
That's the first time I've ever said that in my life. Zach says that a lot, but I've never said that. All right, now, Sandro. This first review is from Steve. Steve says the suspense on whether or not they can press the air button is enough reason to watch this film. Everything else is cake.
What a weird review. That's an odd one. I like it.
Do you want me to get Zach to read that one for you again?
Fine. No, it's fine. We'll just leave it like this.
I feel like I didn't read that one out very clearly to you.
No, it's good.
And that adds to the oddness of this review.
It adds to the Rotten Tomatoes-ness of it. That's got to be a 4.5. No, a 5 out of 5. Let's go 5 out of 5.
Oh, you are very close on your first guess. It was actually 4 out of 5.
All right.
You were on the vibe though. You felt it. Yeah. Max says, "I like the little chest man." Which I have to agree with. I like the little chess man as well. He reminds me of my good friend Danny DeVito, who's like my little chess man, if you think about it.
I like how he was so ugly, but he had a godlike voice. I was like, whoa, so smart.
I think he was beautiful in his own way, Sando.
I agree.
You shouldn't call him ugly.
I will.
I think that's very ow. Yikes. It was a very harsh word.
I'm going to say that's a positive one. Let's go for a 4 out of 5 again because it's funny you do it twice in a row.
That one's actually 4.5. That's very funny you would say that, and then you got them reversed. That's actually more humorous than if that was the number 4 there.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Marco, he says,
Polo.
What a great joke, Sando. Another banger out there. We can see why you're a professional comedian / podcaster.
No, I'm not. I retired.
Yeah, I can tell. All right, Marco says, I love this movie. Open your mind. ... Lol. Crying, laughing emoji.
Fuck. These reviews are awful. I mean, they're great. I love them. 5 out of 5.
That was 5 out of 5. Got it on the money that time. I feel
when
like
they use
if
emojis, it has to be 5.
Yeah, if they pull the crying, laughing emoji, it's got to be 5 out of 5. Rogue says,
oh.
Yes, from the X-Men, I presume.
Oh.
It's okay for its time, but I found it kind of cheesy.
That's the point. What? That's not a bad thing.
Some people don't like cheesy sound, though. You can't dismiss their opinion just because it's different to yours.
No, I will dismiss their opinion because it's incorrect.
I like how I'm here today, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to do like school day presentations on how to be a better person.
Isn't Arnie super right wing? I don't think it really.
Yeah. And I'm all about those life lessons that as long as we don't get into politics where it turns very right-wing.
I'm going to say that is probably a 3. No, 2. It's on Tomatoes. I'm going to go 2.
It was 3.5.
Oh, that's way too positive for the text in that review.
They said it was okay for its time, but I found it kind of cheesy. But you have to think about it. They're writing a review on Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone's giving it 5 out of 5. They're going to be like, I don't want to rate it too low. Because then I'll get some hate. Yeah.
Don't want to go too far down. Yeah, definitely.
And finally, we have the last review by Nefaso.
Yep.
Who says, almost 20 years after, and I still dream about the 3-breasted woman. What a movie.
It's not that. I don't get the obsession with...
Because she has 3 tits, Sandro. What is that to think about? That's 1 more breast than normal.
All I'm thinking about is her poor back. Like, ouch, just an extra bit of...
And that's a fair point to bring up, but I think it's a dystopian society, Sandro.
Oh, exactly.
That's what makes this movie so deep, is it makes you think about, the back pain. Like, where is she going to buy a bra, Sandro? No one's selling 3-breasted bras.
No one is. That's so correct.
And you said the women were written badly, Sandro.
4.5.
Oh, you were close. It was actually 4 out of 5 again. Once again, the 0.5 screw you up. Now, which review did you think was Zach's?
I feel like you would give this...
Not mine. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously.
Oh, yeah, of course. You haven't given
But he
any
told
of
me
these
which one was his review.
Right. I'm going to say Zach's review is most... Well, I feel like Zach would rate this a 4.
I can tell you my review if you want.
Yeah, sure. What's your review?
Arnold's review is, man, wow, that main character guy, he was real good, eh? Very sexy, very handsome, very smart.
That's funny. Why did you say A like you're a Canadian then, Arnie? That was weird.
I've been hanging out with the I tried to be social. Look, I just came up with that on the spot, man. You can't call me out like that. Yes, yes, and you comedian fuck.
This is such a late night episode. I'm gonna say that is I think your review, Zach, who's over there, not Arnie, who's talking right now.
I'll get him over here. Hey, Zach. Yeah. Hey, Zach, plug out of the machine. You can kill your ex-wife later. Okay, he's coming. Give him 1 sec. Yeah. What's up? What's happening?
I think your review was the crying, laughing emoji.
What the fuck? What's wrong with you? That's something I totally would do to try and throw you off.
I don't know. All these reviews they all sound legitimate. I don't know which one is yours.
I tried to make this one tricky. Once again, I'm in my arc of like the first 3 reviews I've come up with, I dismiss because I want to talk about them during the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and because I don't like it when I create a funny review and then like I can't make a joke throughout the entire podcast because it's the one there. Mine was actually the second one, which is I like the little chest man.
Right. That's a good review.
Yeah.
That's a good review.
I think that's a fair review, right? I liked the little chest man. I thought he was pretty great. And it was a 4.5.
Yeah,
but
that's what I thought that you would rate it, which is why I was like, but that review is not funny enough. Where's the jokes?
Look, I liked the little chest man. Like, what do you want from me?
Why
He's
not?
a good little chest guy, and you called him ugly.
Yeah, he is.
He's not.
But
he's
he owns
beautiful.
it. He owns it, Zach, and that makes him beautiful.
Exactly.
But he's ugly. He looks like baby Oopsie Daisy from fucking Demonic Toys.
Whoa, fuck, that's brutal, dude.
Crossed with Baby Herman from Metro Rabbit.
True, though. Facts. You're spitting facts right now.
Yeah. Plat. All right, that's the episode. Thanks for listening. If you like the show, I don't know, fucking follow us on YouTube. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do.
Or you can head to the Patreon, where you might be able to pick some of the movies that we are potentially doing in the future.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Patreon.com/OldieBuddyGoodiePod, where you can sign up, get bonus episodes. I think out this week is our second K-drama episode. It's going to be fun.
Ooh, yeah. We're doing the K-drama at the moment, where we are reviewing Nicolas Cage movies.
Wow.
And I believe we're going to finish that off with the latest Nick Cage movie, which I've heard on the radio has pretty good reviews.
Whoa, it does. It was filmed in Australia. I've got a fun story about that as well.
You'll have to tune in for that one then.
That's happening some point in the K-drama. I'm excited. The one we're doing this week is called Matchstick Men, which is like a heist movie, I think.
Yeah, interesting.
It looks fun. It looks good. I've heard good things. Anyway, that's patreon.com/OldieBuddyGoodiePod. You can get bonus episodes for money. For less money, you can get ad-free episodes of this show and early episodes of the main show as well. That's for lower. But if you don't want to pay money, but you still want to be involved, bloody sign up for free and you can vote on the bloody polls for the movies we're doing.
That's true. That's absolutely free. Speaking of voting on the polls for movies we're doing, Sandro, what the heck are we doing? My month's over. It's done.
Yep, you're done.
We're out of here.
You're done.
It was all just a dream. The whole time. The whole time.
No, it happened.
Sandro, you've just gotten out of the chat. I just implanted the entire month of my movies into your brain. None of it happened.
We had a whole fucking 2-year-long arc.
It was
about
actually
it all
just
dreams.
Total Recall. I Total Recalled that whole 2 years.
Wow.
We've actually
That's
just
crazy.
recorded like 3 episodes together. That's about it. Which explains this whole episode, if you think about
dreams.
it. Yeah.
Review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well. So I'm taking over
Yeah,
basically
so
is what's
doing?
happening.
What's happening?
So you had a month of choices. Now it's time for my month of choices. And Zach, I'm switching it up. You did 3 out of 4 very good movies, but 4 out of 4 high budget movies that everyone knows about.
I wasn't like, oh, I have a month to choose. I'm just going to spoil myself and just mostly pick good movies so I could just watch 4 good movies. And then we had to watch the sequel to Cats and Dogs.
You also made us do that.
And I was like, fuck, why did I do that?
Wow. Yeah. Aside from Cats and Dogs, Roger Rabbit, Starship Troopers, Total Recall, all 4.5 out of 5 movies for me.
Bangers.
So
I was
all
like,
bangers.
Num. Give me this piece of candy. Nom. I just treat myself. Do you know why I did that, Sandro?
Why did you do that?
Because I know your month is going to come up after that. And I really need to mentally prepare myself. I needed to treat myself a little bit, you know? I needed to stock up on the good food so that I could starve for the next month, you know?
Okay, well, here's my goals for my month of movie choices. My goals are, goal number 1, the amount of movie choices and options I'm going to have is going to be, there's 5 for the next episode, then 4, then 3, then only 2. So I'm going to be dropping the number of choices down every week just to keep it fresh, just to keep it nice.
Cool.
My main goal is I'm picking movies that I don't think Zach's ever heard of. That's going to be my main...
That's going to be very difficult, seeing as I know nothing about movies. The one thing that I do every week, Yeah.
I'm only picking movies that I very much doubt Zach is aware of them.
I'll let
purely
you know.
Just because I think it'll be funny.
Okay, but if I know any of the movies, does that disqualify them? Can I just be, like, vetoed? Done?
No, I'll just have failed. That's what it is.
I think it's likely you'll do well in this aspect.
I'm just trying to pick, like, not very popular movies, because I just want to watch some, because, you know, Zach, we just did a month of watching, aside from Cats and Dogs, which was bad, they were all movies that everyone knows about, I feel like.
I think Cats and Dogs 2 is the exception to my rules for that month as well, because I also tried to only put pre-2000s movies as well.
That's true. That is true.
And I think for the most part we did pre-2000s movies. We might have done one good one during this one. I can't remember. But I think it was most of the options as well was like pre-2000.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I'm just saying, like, that was my goal, was to do a few more. I think you'll have good luck finding movies that I've never heard of if you do pre-2000s, though. I think that's pretty much a guarantee.
Yeah. I'm not just going for movies that you've never heard of. I'm going for movies that are not, you know, super well known, because I find that interesting and I want to find some funny movies to watch.
I'm glad you're doing that, because I feel like I should have done that, but that would require some brain effort. And I'm like, haha, no, I just want to watch Total Recall and Starship Troopers and have a good fun time. Haha.
Yeah. But I think my month will also be a good fun time. Also, we're talking about it like we're doing that next week. Next week actually isn't going to be a movie episode. Just want to put that out there, because next week is the 30th of June is when the episode comes out. We can't have my month start at the end of the month, because the month has 5 Mondays in it.
That makes sense. So what are we going to do then?
It's a special episode.
It's just, what?
Yeah, we're going to release an episode, and it's going to be a numbered episode, but it's not going to be a movie episode, and I'm very excited for it, and we're going to have a guest, and it's going to be good.
We're releasing an episode, but it's not going to have a movie?
Why are you acting surprised? We're doing it at your house in 2 days.
What are you talking about?
It's going to be very fun.
No idea.
I'm not going to say what it is in case we don't do it. In case something happens and we can't do it. If we... That would be... In case, I don't know, one of us...
That'd be funny. But we have planned a very special episode that we are planning. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that all goes through and should be fun.
And if it doesn't happen, you're not hearing this, because Starkey's cut it out and replaced it with me saying that a Patreon episode is going to be released for free next week.
Yay!
But it's probably going to happen, and I'm very excited.
I think Saki should leave all of this in, and history will write itself.
Exactly. But yeah, no movie review next week, but we are doing an episode that I'm very excited for, a big special episode. My movie choices, they've already been picked, but the first movie that I've chosen is 2 weeks from now, so start of July.
All right.
And let's get into it. So, I am going to... You know what? Let's do Guess That Connection. Let's do it.
Okay.
I want to do it because I think
you can do it. I feel like
it'll be fun.
You can come up with whatever you want. You could do a different thing each day. Like, it's your month.
Yeah.
You can do what you want. If you want to do that, I think it's fun. I think it's a good one.
I think I'm going to have double up connections next, like in my next batch.
Yeah.
So I probably won't do it in my next one, but I'll do it for this one because I think it'll be fun, and I want you to scratch your bloody head and think about them a little bit.
All right. Yeah. You've thought about these ones? I'm down for that. I did have a proposition for the end of this, which you'd like to do with what we're doing with these movies. But I'll save it for the end after this.
Yes, because Patreon has picked a movie. They were tied. We had a tie, and then I put our tiebreaker on Patreon, and now we've got a winner. So
okay. Oh, you put a tiebreaker out.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Because I was going to ask, if we have a tie, does that mean we have to do a bonus battle? Question mark.
That bonus battle makes no sense, but it would have been very funny.
It would have been funny, though. It would have been funny. But perhaps in the future, maybe we do a bonus battle if something's very tied, you know.
So how about you get all of these movies up, and I want you to like give your like one sentence thought on what the movie is, because all these movies are going to be kind of unknown, and I don't want to read the actual synopsis because that's boring. And then I'll go through my 5 movies just because I think it'll be fun. So my 5 movies were the options that Patreon had to vote on. We had from 1980, Galaxina.
Galaxina. Whoa, sexy woman. Awooga. This looks like some typical 80s sci-fi trash.
Yeah.
It looks very funny because they just get hot lady, chuck her on the poster. You get some boys in being like, oh, sci-fi adventure with sexy lady.
Yeah, I think she's a Playboy model. Is the main character. This looks fun. Looked like another fun. Star Slammer, and I liked Star Slammer. That was funny.
That was funny. Should I tell you the rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, why not?
That's 14%. So clearly a banger.
Yeah, it is.
What's the next one, Sandro?
My next one was called Red Sonja.
Red Sonja. Okay, unlike the previous one, this one's fantasy, not sci-fi, but then all the previous things apply.
Grab a attractive model and put her in the movie. All the boys will be like, I want to watch this one.
Yep. But this time it's more like, this one looks like Conan the Barbarian sort of vibe.
Yeah, it's a Conan spin-off. Well, the comic that it's based off is a Conan spin-off.
Which is... So the first one is for your sci-fi,
sci-fi
dominatrix fans. This one is for your fantasy muscle mummies. You know.
Okay, yeah, sure thing.
This one has a cool 21% on Rotten Tomatoes. So another banger.
Yeah. Look, they might have low Rotten Tomatoes scores, but I'm sure they're good movies.
Oh yeah. It'll be fun to watch them for sure. I'm excited to hear which one won.
My third option was Dick Tracy. From the 90s.
Oh, okay. This one doesn't have a Playboy model on the cover. Well done, Sandra. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
This one looks very interesting. It's got is it like a detective or something?
Yeah, it's based off a detective comic from the 30s.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like a comic book sort of character.
It looks very, like, Sin City-esque. It looks fun. I've always wanted to watch it.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a noir, but obviously it's a comic, but he's... It's a comic character, but he also, he uses a Tommy gun, which is pretty based.
Yeah. So that was my third one. What does that have on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, yeah. And that one has... a 63%. Whoa!
Nice.
That's straight up into the fresh area. That's that. Oh, okay. Interesting.
And then my fourth one was Johnny Mnemonic.
Which I think I've heard, the name Johnny Mnemonic before.
Okay.
But I've never associated it with a movie or Keanu Reeves. Because it's a movie by Keanu Reeves, I probably heard it in a Keanu Reeves conversation. But, I never looked it up. I never knew, So this one is, it's definitely, something that I must have heard before. So, because his name is Johnny Mnemonic.
Yes.
And I feel like I've heard that name before, but I've never seen anything about it. This looks like The Matrix if it was bad.
Yeah, this is just like pre-Matrix, basically.
Yeah.
It looks pretty awful.
On
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes.
That
Woo.
was the bomb in the bunch. That one was the swing and a potential miss of it just being bad. Anyway.
Yeah. That's funny.
And then my fifth and final option was called Bordello of Blood.
Whoa. What? And you've gone back to the Playboy models again, Sandro. What the fuck is this?
That's right.
Oh my god, the images of this are amazing. This looks like hot, sexy vamp. So we've got the trifecta of you've got the hot lady in space, hot lady in fantasy, and now we've got hot lady vampire. For all those that want a hot vampire lady, although she looks downright demonic in some of these pictures. Like, this isn't your average sexy vampire. This has some like horror aspects to it.
That's right.
And you know what?
What?
This has the exact same Rotten Tomato score as Galaxida at 14%.
Hell
wow.
yeah. Well, those were my five options. We had a tie, so we had a tie between Red Sonja and Bordello of Blood, and the winner is it's Bordello of Blood won. So we're actually doing Bordello of Blood this week.
Okay.
Which was the one that I think I wanted to do the most out of all these, because it looks very fucking weird.
It does look really weird, because I was like, oh, it's got a sexy vampire lady. But then I saw, like, a couple of their screenshots, and it's like, wait, that's, like, body horror gore, like...
Yes.
Full-on gore. I was like, whoa, that ain't sexy.
So it's a movie version of a TV show called Tales from the Crypt. It's like a movie-length tale from the crypt. About a detective who goes to a brothel run by vampires and they're evil. And it's apparently, I don't know anything about it, but apparently it's been described as an underrated gore comedy. So, maybe it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be a movie that we're going to watch in 2 weeks' time. I'm looking forward to that one. That one's definitely like the most unknown out of all these. So I'm very happy to watch.
It looks pretty fun, though.
But what's my connection? Well, Zach, my 5 connections, and now you've got to play guess that connection. My 5 connections were brain implants.
Okay.
We had the actor Marshall Bell, who plays Quarto, the chest baby.
Okay, I won't look at any of the actors.
Yep. We had 3-breasted woman.
One of these has a 3-breasted woman in it?
And we also have a person with 3 nipples.
Wait, there's so many nipples going around.
And then also Arnold Schwarzenegger was there.
Did you Google movies with 3-breasted women in them?
I did. I found an article that went through the history of 3-breasted people in movies. Surprisingly enough, there's not that many.
Honestly, having 3 that I now know exist is more than I thought there would be.
My search history was
incredible.
A little fucked that evening.
That's the best search history of all time. That's so good.
Specifically, keep in mind, one of them is a 3-breasted woman, and then the other connection is a person with 3 nipples.
3 nipples, yes.
Yes, that is my connection.
Which I think I've heard about in, like, other movies. Someone's born with, like, that's a thing that can happen.
Yes.
Like, that's a, yeah.
So, anyway, what connections for which movie?
That's so funny. That's incredible. I wish I had as good connections as these. I can only dream of connections that were as good. Okay, brain implants implies sci-fi, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm immediately thinking sci-fi for that one. But I also think the sci-fi is like the prime target for the 3-breasted woman, right?
I mean, potentially.
Yeah, but I also think that could be a fantasy thing.
I think there was a 3-breasted woman in Warrior and the Sorceress. We did years ago.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wasn't there a 3-breasted woman in that one? Yeah. So that leads me to think that maybe it was Red Sonja.
No, I think she had 4 breasts in Warrior and the Sorceress because she was a spider lady.
Yeah, right? Your obsession with spider breast is over the charts today. Anyway.
I forgot I already mentioned it earlier.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's my
you
current
did.
obsession.
You're just
it's
obsessed.
my current rabbit hole in my browsing history.
Yeah, your search history is crazy, dude. It's
crazy down there, man.
So I'm actually gonna put the 3-breasted woman in Red Sonja. I think that's
All right.
And I think maybe then I'll put the person with 3 nipples in Bordello of Blood.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going with the body horror, just
body
weird
horror.
bodies.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, body horror, gore, vampire.
Yeah,
vibe.
that could also be the 3-breasted, but that's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I will put. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic is also kind of sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put the brain implants in that one.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, but then that frees up the other one for... Oh, shit. I guess I'll put Galaxina, because Galaxina could also have a 3-breasted woman. Or more nipples. Shit. I'll put that one is having Marshall Bell.
Galaxina has the actor Marshall Bell in it.
Oh, maybe that's too...
All right.
Maybe that's too old. Can I look up how old Galaxina is?
It's the 80s, so it's 10 years before this. So he totally could have been in that movie.
Yeah.
100% that.
I mean,
that
he could,
yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
I don't think... But where do I put Arnie, then? And Dick Tracy. Maybe Marshall Bell's in Dick Tracy.
But then what's Arnie in?
No, Arnie's got to be in Dick Tracy. Shit, I have no fucking clue. What's crazy is I was looking up the posters for all of these, and none of them I saw Arnie in.
Really?
So I don't. Yeah. Or at least I didn't look hard enough to see him in it.
Yeah.
So I didn't spot him. So you can. Oh,
Which movie gives Arnie vibes the most?
Oh, wouldn't that be maybe he's in Red Sonja.
Maybe.
Because that's the barbarian one. Okay. I'm putting 3-breasted women in Galaxina.
Okay.
I'm putting Arnold Schwarzenegger in Red Sonja.
Yeah.
I'm putting Marshall Bell in Dick Tracy.
Yep.
I'm putting brain implants in Johnny Mnemonic.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And then person with 3 nipples in Bordello of Blood. And that's my final answer.
Well, I'm never doing this again because you got all of them correct.
Yes! Yes, I'm the best! I'm so fucking good. I always fucked it up. I had there was a lot of scattered around, but I pieced it together.
You pieced it together. You got it spot on. Yeah, so Galaxina has a scene where there's a woman with 3 breasts. Red Sonja...
I almost fucked that up. I was close to fucking that all up.
You almost did, but you got it in the end.
Arnold actually saved me because the only movie I thought he could be in was Red Sonja.
Well, because Red Sonja is a spin-off of Conan, but he doesn't play Conan in that movie. He plays someone else. But he's in it. He's still in it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Dick Tracy has Marshall Bell in it. Johnny Mnemonic's about someone with a brain implant. And then Bordello of Blood contains someone with 3 nipples. So, bang on. There we go.
I was just guessing with the, brain implants. That could have been in the first one as well. I was just like, that's Johnny Mnemonic because it looks very, Matrix, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It looks very Matrix, so I was thinking Matrix brain implants makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then, Bordello of Blood is the only one where I saw body horror. So it's the only one I could think of with someone with 3 nipples. That wasn't 3-breasted woman. You know?
Yeah.
It all sort of clicked. Wow.
Yeah, it all clicked. That
was fun, though. I liked being on the other end, trying to figure that out. That was a puzzle.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard.
Yeah, it was hard. It was very hard. And I was that close to, swapping 2 of them.
But you got it, 100%.
To be fair, in my ones, I made them even harder by
did.
making the ones, deliberately, 50-50s, where I feel like this one you've just given the connections, which made it easier for me.
Yeah, the connections aren't
You didn't make them specifically to fuck them up, although the three-breasted woman and the person with three nipples is very funny. That's extremely funny.
Yeah, we do connections a little bit differently when we're planning out our connections.
Yes.
But no, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm looking at like some actors maybe, and some, like,
that's what I do as
some
well.
machinery and other things. And meanwhile, Sandro's googling people with three breasts.
It's true. That's what I do. Yeah. That is what I do every day.
I think my search history has some weird stuff trying to look up movies, though. I'm sure of it.
But there we go. Next week, Bordello of Blood. Which I'm looking forward to.
This was a pretty long episode. Hope you enjoyed it, but we're starting the Sandro month, so I'm excited.
Sandro month. Not next week, though. That's in 2 weeks. I keep saying next week. We're probably recording it next week. That's why. Anyway.
Yeah.
But next week, special secret, unless it doesn't happen. But it should happen. If you're hearing this, it either will or won't, because Starkey is at... Hey, Starkey, in the future, did that episode happen?
Yeah, well, I think so. Yeah, probably.
I don't know what he said.
Yeah, it's all in post. Like, maybe it did. Maybe it
Who
didn't.
knows? We'll see you then. Bye.
Oh my god. It's like Total Recall, Did it happen? Or the memories implant? You get it? Because, like, it's like, did it happen?
I don't... what are you talking about? I don't recall watching a movie about that.
Didn't we just record for 2 hours?
No.
What?